All right, everybody. OGL Schmidt here. I am doing a Megadeth reaction today. Now, Danny and I tried to do a reaction to Symphony of Destruction a couple of weeks ago. There was a audio snafu there that was both horrible and hilarious. Basically, I ended up sounding like a chipmunk through 3/4 of the reaction, which a song like Symphony of Destruction definitely deserves a less comedic reaction. So Danny is not the biggest Megadeth fan, so I thought I would take it upon myself to do another Megadeth reaction because I think they should be covered on the channel. The problem is, how do I find a Megadeth song that I haven't heard? Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Megadeth. I've always been a Metallica guy, straight up, but I love Rust in Peace. I love Countdown to Extinction. I enjoyed Euthanasia. But after that, there's a pretty solid batch of material that I'm not terribly familiar with. So I thought I would listen to what Megadeth's doing right now. I think they released an album called The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead maybe a year ago. So I'm reacting to the first single from that album called We'll Be Back, Chapter 1. On the Symphony of Destruction reaction, Benny asked me if Megadeth was still relevant, essentially, if they've had put out anything that had made any waves, and I foolishly said that I thought that the last time that they were actually played on MTV or anything like that was in the mid '90s. It turns out Megadeth's been doing very well for themselves the last couple of decades. They have, I believe, 6 or 7 platinum records, platinum certifications. And this album, The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, is their best charting album yet. So major props to Megadeth for still kicking ass in 2023. Dave Mustaine also recently beat throat cancer. So between Chuck Billy, Bruce Dickinson, and Dave Mustaine, just cancer, stop fucking with metal singers. They don't go down easy. But I'm very interested to hear what Megadeth sounds like now, because we all know how much Metallica's sound has evolved, for better or for worse, depending on your views. To me, those first 5 albums are essential for any metal fan. I think Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets are metal at its apex. I think that the Black Album has probably inspired more metalheads than just about any album out there. But after that, it's been touch and go. Megadeth, though, I'm really not familiar with anything they've done post Euthanasia. So let's take a look and see what Megadeth has in 2023. Once again, the buffering. Let's give this just a second. Looks like they're starting off with a sort of a vignette, like a movie type intro here. It's a very good opening shot. Very moody. Very well composed. So, if you're my age, if you grew up in the heyday of Schwarzenegger and Stallone and that sort of thing, anytime I see the phrase "I'll be back" or "We'll be back," I always imagine it spoken in Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice. Scars of the '80s, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back. It's not nearly as iconic when I say it, is it? All right. So it's about soldiers going off to war. Damn. I think that case was the buffering was caused by the band's sounds being too much for my internet connection. Okay, so when Megadeth came in there with that badass guitar riff, wow, Dave Mustaine has lost nothing as a guitarist. He's always been a riff smith par excellence. The Hangar 18 riffs, iconic. Holy Wars, The Punishment Due is just chock full of amazing riffs. Yeah, you as a vocalist, Mustaine can be very polarizing, but no one should be denying the man's gifts as a guitarist. Okay, so vocally, this is some of my favorite work from Dave. I think Dave is really good when he leans into that sneer and he uses more percussive vocal lines. Again, as I mentioned, he beat throat cancer. There's a bit like more rasp in his sound now, and that just sounds great. He's spitting out these words. It doesn't sound that dissimilar to like Creator, for instance. It feels very thrashy, almost like a throwback to that 80s thrash sound, which, you know, Megadeth was part of that Bay Area scene back in the day. It's great to hear them still sounding so vital. Even like the singing bit there, he's not trying to sing operatically or anything like that in this song. I think that's where his voice can sometimes get a bit grating because it's got that very nasal sound. But here, like you can even see in his face, he's got that sneer going. And there's again, I don't want to say the word damage, but like there is a bit more roughness to the voice that again it fits the song perfectly. This song appears to be about soldiers going off to war, and so that rough vocal sound, that texture works perfectly for this song. Lead guitars are great. I do not remember, because I'm a Marty Friedman guy. I definitely remember Marty back in the day. I am trying to gonna look up who is playing guitar for them right now. Please don't hate me, guys. But haha, two computers. Giving a caveman like me two computers is really not the smartest thing in the world, but obviously, probably should have done this before I started the reaction. Kiko Loreo. All right, so Dave Mustaine and Kiko Loreo. If that was Kiko I heard playing lead there, he is very impressive and kind of had that exotic sound to his leads like Marty did. So I'm, I'm terribly sorry, guys. I'm doing this kind of spur of the moment. And thank God I did, because I'm digging this song. But yeah, sorry, Kiki. You're awesome, though.
Crushing blow, how you wish you were dead. Just when you think it's safe, I attack. We'll be back. When you least expect your fate, I attack. We'll be back. To your face, one move, big mistake. We'll be back. Let down, you'll attack. I'll be dead. When you think it's safe, I will be back. When you least expect your fate, I attack. We'll be back. Rock kick to your face, one move, big mistake. We'll be back. Let down your guard, full on frontal attack. I'll be back. No use screaming for mercy, no use making a sound. Till you step right up and get smacked back down. In the heat of battle, blood congeals on the floor. Another life force speeds out, another soul out the door.
Okay, so this is a cliche. This is actually one of the few times like I did kind of forget that I was reacting. It's those guitar trade-offs. Again, Hangar 18, to me, that's one of the most famous. It's like the last half of that song is just Marty and Dave just going at it. These guitar trade-offs, super badass. The rapid-fire vocal lines I'm really liking. Dave's not a young man, so his stamina on those is really impressive. Just spitting them out rapid-fire with all that venom that we've come to expect from him. I don't know what I was expecting, but yeah, it's amazing to hear them sound this energized, at this stage in their careers. I love it. So this album is definitely going on the list because this is one of those walking songs. This is one of those. I need some energy because I got some stuff to do. Throw this song on. Yeah. Not making out all the lyrics. He's talking about punching someone in the head repeatedly with every blow they wish they were dead. It's a very hostile song, obviously. And the music is matching the lyrics for its hostility. Whew. So I don't want to keep making, like, both bands are great, but I've not been particularly fond of Metallica's recent work. I respect the fact that they've evolved and are trying to challenge themselves as musicians, but they peaked with the Black Album. I mean, honestly, they probably peaked with Master of Puppets, but anyway, this song feels like it could go on Rust in Peace. So I think Prime Metallica beats Prime Megadeth, but Megadeth still sounds like they did at their peak, which Metallica does not. So again, Metallica wins one fight, Megadeth wins the other. But if I haven't mentioned it before, this song kicks ass.
No use screaming for mercy, no use making a sound. Till you step right up and get smacked back down. In the heat of battle, blood congeals on the floor. Another life force speeds out, another soul out the door.
I'm tapping.
Antisocial, sadistic, the deity of war. Washed up body bags and unpacking the morgue. No time for remorse over unclaimed remains. It's just lots of injection
I like the sort of like the backing vocals feel sort of distant, almost like it's someone that's like flying away on a helicopter saying, "We'll be back." It's a nice, and Dave is really getting the most out of his vocals here. If he can pull this off live, that would be really impressive because again, his vocal lines are they're so fast and there's so much activity, and then the guitar is so like that riff is so active. Again, they sound so vital, and mm, yeah, there's no operatic vocals, there's no symphony orchestras, nothing like that. This is just metal as fuck. Fuck. Slowed it down a little bit. Every bit as heavy. Love these new riffs they brought in, and I love how they're showing this fight scene between these two, and this heavy metal is a perfect soundtrack for a fight scene. Oh, I'm loving this. Buffering. Stop, please. Apologize, guys. I know pausing kills the mood, and you definitely don't want to kill the mood on a riff like that. It's trying to stop the buffering. Oh. Holy shit. Okay. So I went into this really not knowing what to expect. The last albums I remember from Megadeth, which were again Euthanasia and then I think Countdown to Extinction, in reverse order, of course. They were moderating their sound. They were it sounded like they were going for more of the streamlined black album. I almost said black metal. It's more of a streamlined sound, like Metallica did with the Black album. Now, I don't know if like this sort of return to roots has been a thing for Megadeth for a while. Rest assured, I'm going to find out because my interest is piqued. Holy shit, this song was badass. I want to say it's 80s thrash at its finest, but music like that to me no, it needs no decade. Music like that is going to something that direct and that powerful and those riffs and those solos, the musicianship involved there, that's just metal at its peak. Just again, no frills, no finery, just badass musicians playing their asses off. Major props to Dave Mustaine. Again, not a young man, cancer survivor, and he is still killing it. His guitar skills have not diminished at all. Honestly, like I like his voice in this more than I have in anything previously. So I am really interested in hearing more from Megadeth now. Um, wow. So this is two thumbs up, two horns up. Guys, thank you very much for joining me on this. I'll probably be doing more Megadeth reactions now. Um, I might get Danny to join me on a few. I think he might like this more direct approach. I want to shout out to Jason and Jennifer, the first two members of the OG team. Thank you very much. Guys, if you want to join, you know the drill. It's only $5. We'd really love your support. If you don't have that five, I understand completely. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you guys think of Megadeth's sound here. And I'd love to hear what you think as far as, Metallica versus Megadeth. Just drop me a note in the comments and let's talk metal. You know, mental health is real. This is a very good song to work out some frustration. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Thank you all so much for joining me. We'll see you on the next one. By the way, Danny, love you, brother.